At this point in time, I believe that Kenny Veach staged his disappearance and that the M cave is something he blew out of proportion. The more research that goes into the case, whether it's stuff I do on my own or if it's work done by other people, especially those who go there boots on ground, documenting their hikes and explorations, the more that goes on, the more I see that Kenny doesn't make any sense. For example, in his M cave hike video, he says that this is a great area to go spelunking in. This is simply false. There are no intricate or deep cave systems anywhere in the Desert National Wildlife Range. I mean, you could argue that there are some abandoned mines and stuff, but Kenny didn't mention mines. He said it's a place to go spelunking. He also says there are hundreds of caves out there and that he's been in every single one of them, that he enters every single one of them. This is not true. Kenny also claims he's a long distance hiker and that he's planning to go 40 miles north if he doesn't find the M cave. That's what he said, or rather posted, before he disappeared. If you have seen the extra M cave hike footage on Sharon Pilgrim's channel, Kenny's supposed girlfriend, where Kenny records himself after his M cave hike, you'll see that the guy cannot even drink his beer. It even hurts him to drink water. He's visibly in pain. He can hardly walk. That was after a 10-mile hike, give or take. So how in the hell can he pull off 40 miles if 10 leaves him completely done in? Speaking of his girlfriend, I simply don't trust her. The way that she presents the information just pops out of the woodwork, starts all sweet. Oh, Kenny was this great inventor, cowboy adventurer. We went to ghost towns together, abandoned mines. We hiked 1 billion miles. He played with death snakes for fun. Then out of nowhere, without any context, without any proof, she just drops the bombshell. Kenny was struggling financially and wanted to sell his house, and he was out of money. He was also battling depression and his mental health was declining. And then she also says he refused to go to the doctor or take medication. Okay, so which one is it? Is he battling his depression or refusing to battle it? It's just too convenient, in my opinion. I don't think he killed himself. I believe that, well, at least with the information that I have now, I believe that Kenny dropped his cell phone at the abandoned mineshaft as a red herring. I think he either doubled back to Jomay Road and someone picked him up from there, or he used some sort of a scent masking spray and dipped somewhere else. Maybe Sharon was in on it, but who knows. I don't think Kenny was alone in fabricating this. What else? Yeah, in his own words, Kenny says that the M cave was hidden. He found it one time during one of his hikes. He says it was out by Nellis Air Force Base. Well, that's great. Except he goes hiking in a completely different direction, about 25 miles away from it as the crow flies. He also says it's gigantic on the side of the mountain, but then he says it's about as tall as he is, which is 5'8". Well, that's simply not gigantic. Well, that's simply not gigantic, no matter how you spin it. The way I see it, he saw something that he thought looks like a deep dark cave. Maybe it was one of those small holes in the rock in his video. A little before he says, I gotta keep my eyes peeled, it's just in an area like this. I mean, he literally passes by an M shape in the rocks there and doesn't even acknowledge it. Kenny is full of contradictions, overhypes himself. Great adventurer, long distance hiker, great creative inventor, but the best thing he came up with was a toilet paper holder. I mean, I don't want to disrespect him, potentially his memory, but the things he says and does, they don't add up to me. Well, unless some new evidence appears to prove me wrong, of course, this is what I believe for now. I think he pulled off a scam. He's not officially declared dead, presumed dead, or anything like that as far as I know. I don't think his family has come out, asking for help, at least not in recent time. I mean, it's been 10 years. I don't know who can declare him dead, especially if Sharon is so convinced that he killed himself. But, I mean, I could be wrong, of course. If Kenny didn't fake his disappearance, then he most likely died to an accident somewhere. One of his knees was injured, he was already having trouble after 10 miles on his M cave hiking video. And, if I'm wrong with this and he did kill himself, I don't think it's near Picture Canyon or Wild Horse Pass or Joe May Canyon. I think he must have gone somewhere else, and if that's the case, I don't think we'd ever find him. As far as the M cave is concerned, yeah, like I said, I think he probably saw something which he thought was a deep dark cave, but it wasn't. He blew it out of proportion, maybe to gain attention, maybe to sound cool, maybe he just has a vivid imagination and likes to share stories. The vibrations he says he felt, maybe it was just him being dehydrated and exhausted. We all see what he looks like after his 10-mile hike. I simply don't see why the US military would go out of their way to build some mysterious cave and zap Kenny with some high-tech area deterrence technology like infrasound, and all of this happens in a hiking area. All in all, Kenny was incredibly vague when talking about the M cave. He says one time but doesn't mention what time of year. He doesn't mention approximate location. He goes hiking 25 miles away from his original location that he said. Yeah, he said the cave was covered up, doesn't say what it was covered by. I mean, it's things like this, That's pretty much it. Oh yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, Driven X Adventures took one of those long, thin cameras and went to the covered up cave fairly recently. I'll leave a link to his videos in the description and in the pinned comment. Please give those videos a watch and drop a like. And as always, let me know what you think, if you agree, if you disagree, if you have anything to add, anything to ask me, just please feel free to drop a comment. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, subscribe. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.